Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves baseball. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Friday, April 17th. The Braves, they continue their, I guess you can call it their, I don't know what we can call it, actually. They just haven't lost a series. That's what we're going to call it. They have not lost a series yet this year. They were on the brink of losing their first series against the Marlins after losing the first game. They were down in game 2, and they rallied back late in the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're going to talk about that when we get to Tomahawk Takes. And then they were able to win the rubber matchup in game 3 and win that series against the Marlins. But now they have a new task ahead, a new series with another NL East rival. That's the Philadelphia Phillies. We know that's going to be a tough matchup, even though it's early in the season and the Phillies are struggling. We know how we usually match up against them, especially as of late, the last few years. You know, it's just a grind against those guys. So maybe we're catching them at a good time right now where they are struggling a little bit, not playing as expected. But hopefully it's a good time to catch them. But we're going to talk about that when we get to the Braves forecast. Make sure to continue following the show on all the social media platforms. It's at the Chop Seat Pod on Instagram. And then everywhere else, it's at the Chop Seat. That's everywhere else. I mean, TikTok, X, Facebook, and YouTube. So, again, we're going to look at the Braves forecast. We're going to look at the upcoming Braves series. That's against the Phillies. And then another NL East rival after that. But first, let's go into our very first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we take a look at the previous Braves series. And Tomahawk Takes, you guys already know, is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT20 to get $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. That's eligible for any purchase on SeatGeek, any concert, any sporting event, any shows. If it's your first purchase, you can throw in code CHOPSEAT20 and you're going to get your first, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. And again, thank you guys for showing me that you guys are actually using the code. A few comments were sent to me here and there, letting me know that you guys use it. And I appreciate you guys using that code. So please continue to use it. Chopsy really, really appreciates your support. Let's talk about that series, though, against the Miami Marlins. The 8-8 Miami Marlins were coming into town to face the 10-6 Atlanta Braves. Game 1 of the set was Eldy Perez on the mound for the Marlins. He went 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He now has a 5.40 ERA. He was going up against Grant Holmes, who went 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He now has a 3.32 ERA. Listen, it was a close game in the beginning, but the Marlins offense just completely blew up. This is what happened here. In the top of the 3rd inning, Grant Holmes, he gives up a single to Jacob Marcy. Then he gives up 2 back-to-back walks to Xavier Edwards and Agustin Ramirez. That made it bases loaded with no outs. That's the biggest pickle you can get yourself into if you're on the mound. Liam Hicks, he hits a sac fly out to right field. That makes it 1-0 Miami. Then Otto Lopez, he singles out to left field. Makes it 2-0. And then Connor Norby drives in the 3rd run of the inning with a single. 3-0 Miami. Early lead in the top of the 3rd. But the bottom of the 3rd, the Braves come answering right back. No delay in answering. It started with a Drake Baldwin leadoff single. Matt Olson singles as well. Austin Riley singles. Back-to-back singles. Drake Baldwin scores there. That makes it 3-1. Olson goes to 3rd. Austin Riley actually swipes the bag at 2nd. That's his 2nd stolen base of the season. Mike Yastrzemski singles out to right field. Matt Olson scores there. Riley advances to third. It's a 3-2 ball game. Yaz also steals second. That was our first of the season for him. And then Dom Smith hits a sac fly out to right field. It's a 3-3 tie ball game just like that. A nice way to manufacture 3 runs by the Atlanta Braves. But then in the top of the 5th, Aaron Bummer, he is brought in by Walt Weiss. Grant Holmes is taken out of the game, and it just went downhill from here, guys. It really did go downhill from here. He gives up 2 singles and then a 418-foot shot by Agustin Ramirez. That makes it 6-3 Miami. After this, the Marlins, they just never looked back, guys. They never looked back. It was the bottom of the 5th. The Braves try to answer back again. It's looking like they're going to answer back. Austin Riley had an RBI ground out that makes it 6-4. But that was actually it. That was the final run that the Braves are able to cash in for the rest of the ball game. And top of the 6th, they bring in Rolly Munoz that was just called up. He comes in and he gives up a solo shot to Connor Norby. That makes it 7-4. He gives up 2 more runs later in the inning. That makes it 9-4. And I gotta be honest, this might have been the first game that I had the feeling that the Braves were actually punting this one away. I haven't had this feeling, throughout the season. Usually they've been trying to win every single game, but this one, you just got the vibe that, once Bummer gave up them runs and they brought in Rolly Munoz, it was just like, this one, it's over. It's GG's. Let's just let him eat some innings up, see what he can do. Hopefully not give up as many runs and save the bullpen. But yeah, this was the first game that I can say that I really do think they just punted this one and just take the L. And I get it. You're not going to win every single game. But again, you saw that, Weiss definitely went to his B guys or C guys when it came to the bullpen. And again, it was just to save your guys. And sometimes you got to take an L, bro. You're not going to go 162-0. It's a long season. So again, Rolly Munoz, he got rocked a little bit. I made it 9-4 Miami. Then Jose Suarez came in. He gives up another run. That made it 10-4. And that was the final score of the ball game. That's the way it went down. The Marlins win their first game 10-4. Then game 2, it was Max Meyer on the mound for the Marlins. He goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk. He now has a 4.12 ERA. Reynaldo Lopez came in. And you know what? Let me see one last thing here that I had. Yeah, and this is what I wanted to say when it came to the bullpen in the previous game. Combined with Aaron Bummer, which he did get the loss in this one, and Rolly Munoz and Jose Suarez, those 3 guys combined for 13 hits allowed and 7 runs. So again, credit to Miami Marlins offense. They went off on these guys. And again, it's not your A guys. It's not your A guys. Aaron Bummer, I'm not a big fan of his. I've said it before. Every time he comes in the game, I really do think like he's just game might be over. Game might be over. And we saw he gave up a few runs, and then obviously again, like I said, Rolly Munoz came in, the young kid, and he got rocked around, and that was it. That was a ball game. But anyway, going back to game 2, I said Max Meyer was on the mound for the Marlins. Reynaldo Lopez on the mound for the Braves. He goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 3 walks with 6 strikeouts. He now has a 2.1 ERA. This is how this game started off. In the top of the first, 1 out, Jacob Marcy on third. Agustin Ramirez hits a sac fly out to right field. Jacob Marcy scores. It's an early lead for the Marlins. Once again, 1-0 ball game. Top of the second, the Marlins, they put up 3 runs in this inning, and you're starting to think, here we go again. Same thing as the last game. Connor Norby with an RBI single. Graham Parley, an RBI double. Jacob Marcy, an RBI single. 4-0 lead for the Marlins. Bottom of the second, a 2-out single by Dom Smith drives in Ozzie Albies from second base. That makes it 4-1. The Braves cut the lead by 1. Bottom of the third, the Braves get a little bit closer in the ballgame. MVP Drake Baldwin with an RBI double out to the right center field gap. That makes it 4-2. And then Matt Olson follows up with a double of his own. Drake Baldwin scores there. That makes it 4-3. And then it was all quiet until the top of the eighth. All quiet there. And listen, it was looking like it was about to be the first Braves series loss of the year, because top of the eighth, Marlins, they do increase their lead by one. Otto Lopez has an RBI single out to right field. Agustin Ramirez scores there. That makes it 5-3 Miami. And that was actually off of Robert Suarez, who came in to replace Tyler Kinley. Before Kinley, it was Dylan Lee that came in to replace Ronaldo Lopez. So here we had the A guys in the ballgame. There was no punting in this one. Walt Weiss and the gang was going to try and come back and rally back from this deficit. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. Bottom of the eighth, the Braves, they put up a crooked number, a nice crooked number on the scoreboard. MVP again, Drake Baldwin. He singles off the closer, Pete Fairbanks. But listen, Matt Olson, he strikes out swinging. Austin Riley pops out. That's 2 outs already. 2 outs with 4 outs left for you to get to try and at least tie up the ball game. One in this inning, of course. And then Mike Yastrzemski, he singles out to right field. That makes it 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Ozzie Albies comes up next. He takes one for the team. He gets hit by a pitch. That makes it bases loaded for Dom Smith. And what does he do? What does Dom Smith do? Down 1-2 in the count after falling off some pitches. He drives one out to the left center field gap. Go ahead. Bases clearing double. Everyone scores. 6-5 Braves. They take the lead. Dom Smith is pumped. I'm pumped. Everyone is pumped. That is how they come back in this ball game. Top of the ninth, Raisel Iglesias, he comes in to try and record the save. He strikes out Connor Norby. He gets Javier Sanoa striking out as well. And then he gets Graham Pauley to fly out to center field for the final out. 6-5 Atlanta Braves win. They save their I guess we can call it a no loss of a series title. I don't know. No lose series title. They are able to save that for another game, at least another game. And listen, I was pumped. Because this team has shown that they're capable of fighting back from any deficit. And we didn't have that last year. Last year when we were down, bro, it was like, it's game over, man. Like, I didn't even want to watch, to be honest. But I watch every single game for the most part, unless it's like out west. But I still obviously catch up and watch the highlights and stuff. But, when you were watching these games and you were down, even one run felt like it was just one run. Last year felt like it was 5 runs. This year, these guys are down. They've been able to fight back. We've seen them, and they're able to do it with 2 outs, which is the best part of it. That's the best part. When you're able to rally back with 2 outs, any lead, you feel like any lead, you could just come back. Any lead is surmountable. But listen, we'll see if they can keep it up. It's still early. It's a small sample size, but I love the fight that we've been seeing from these guys. The hitting with 2 outs has been impressive. And again, it's impressive if you compare it to last year. Last year, it was atrocious. If you were down last year, it was game over. Like I said, 1 run felt like you were down 5. But this year is a different story. I'm loving the vibes from this ball club. I'm loving the 7-9 hitters going off. Mauricio Dubon, Dom Smith. Them guys been going crazy. Even Jorge Mateo, when he comes in the game, he's been doing his thing. So, man, I've been loving it. I've been loving what we've been seeing so far. So, again, Marlins win the first game. Braves win the second game. Rubber matchup, game 3. Chris Paddock on the mound for the Marlins. 4 2/3 from him. 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 4 Ks. He gets the L in this ballgame, which means the Atlanta Braves win this rubber matchup and they end up winning this series. He's now 0-3, like I said, with a 5.59 ERA. Bryce Jekyll Elder once again on the mound. 5 2/3, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. He gets the win. He's now 2-1. You want to guess his ERA? He has a 0.77 ERA thus far. Raisel Iglesias comes in. He got saved number 4. of the season. But again, Bryce Elder, 0.77 ERA. Is he able to hold that up? We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Last year he was a 5-something ERA guy, and it's still early, obviously. Still early, but he's looking completely different. He's made some adjustments. He's been doing really, really good, and I hope he can keep it up so we can stop calling him Jekyll and Hyde. We could just call him Jekyll. That's what I've been doing. I've been calling him just Jekyll so far, so we'll see if he can keep that up. Bottom of the second, this is what goes down. It's Ozzie Albies connecting a home run. That's his 4th of the season. 1-0 Atlanta. With runners on first and second. We were just talking about him. Mauricio Dubon, he lines one out to left field. Mike Yastrzemski scores. That makes it 2-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the 6th, Austin Riley finally gets his first homer of the season. 400 feet to left center field. That makes it 3-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the 7th. It's your boy. It's my boy. MVP Drake Baldwin. Just give him the trophy now, guys. RBI single for him. Acuna scores. That makes it 4-0 Atlanta. Then Matt Olson with a 2-run homer out to the chop house. 5th homer of the season for him. Makes it 6-0. Top of the 8th, Osvaldo Bido. He comes in. He's been decent so far, but he had a rough appearance in this one. He ends up giving 3 runs, including a 2-run homer from Leon Hicks. That made it 6-3 after the inning. But that's it. That was it. That's all the Marlins were able to get because Robert Suarez comes in. He gets the final 2 outs of the inning. And then in the top of the 9th, Raisel Iglesias, he comes in. He gets 3 strikeouts. It was 2 strikeouts to the start of the inning. I believe he gave up a single, and then he strikes out the final batter of the game. That is game over. Braves win the series. They improve to 12-7, and they start off that 13 games in 14 days against NL East rivals. They start that period off with a 2-1 record. Very, very good start. The Marlins were tough. Their offense is pretty darn good. We got to be honest. Especially in that first game, we saw a lot of contact hitting, a lot of steals, a lot of speed throughout the series. So, very good to see the Marlins, man. The Marlins are coming back up. If only they can have a little bit more pitching involved. And I guess, with the starters, they're missing some starters because Pete Fairbanks at the end of the bullpen, it's not bad at all. I can't recall who else they have towards the end of their bullpen, but if they can improve a little bit in their bullpen and their starters, man, they could go a long way. But hey, we'll take it. We'll take the 2 games out of 3. What else do we have before we head into the Braves forecast? There was news about Spencer Strider. Actually, he had his rehab start yesterday in Rome. And it was actually Sean Murphy catching for him as well. So both of those guys out there in Rome, Georgia, must have been a great game to catch. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're close by and you're able to, go catch a Rome Braves game, listen, why not? Why not head out there and catch these 2 major leaguers out there getting some reps in. His final line was 3 innings in a third, 1 hit allowed, 2 walks. 30 so I was about to say 30 strikeouts. That would have been crazy. 3 strikeouts, 50 pitches, 27 of those for strikes. That was his final line. His fastball was about 95-97 in the first inning. But again, all his strikeouts too were via the slider, which we saw. And then what else we had here? I think that was it, yeah, for the Rome Emperors. I don't know why I said the Rome Braves. I'm thinking it's like back in the days. It's the Rome Emperors now. But yeah, so we'll see what else is going on there with the with his rehab and also with Sean Murphy's rehab as time goes on. Let's see what else here. It was Martin Perez, as I said, he's starting right now. Osvaldo Bido, he was designated for assignment after that appearance. Ian Hamilton was selected to the Major League roster to replace him. Yeah, everybody was thinking it was Ian Anderson, but no, it was Ian Hamilton. Martin Perez will take the spot vacated by Hayden Harris's return to Gwinnett. Obviously, like I said, Martin Perez will be starting today. That is against. So they pushed everyone back. Remember, we had said before, well, it was because Mark Bowman said that he's the insider guy. So I was going by what he said. They were planning on starting everyone on regular rest since they had the day off yesterday. But since they got back Martin Perez, they were able to put him to start for tonight and then push everyone back an extra day. So we'll see how everyone lines up when we get to the Braves forecast. And you know what? Let's just do the Braves forecast right now.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast, where we preview the upcoming Braves series, and that's the series out with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves hitting the road, going into Philadelphia with a 12-7 record. They'll be facing the Phillies, who are now 8-10. Game one, as I just mentioned, 6:40 p.m. start time. That already started because right now it is 7:08. So we'll keep you posted on how that ball game is going. But again, it started by Martin Perez, the lefty, who was just picked up once again. He's 0-1 with a 3.14 ERA. He's going up against righty Taijuan Walker, who's 1-2 with a 7.36 ERA. Game two tomorrow, Saturday, 7:15 p.m. start time. That's going to be on national television on Fox. There's going to be a battle of two lefty aces. Lefty Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves, 3-1 with a 3.27 ERA, going up against Christopher Sanchez, 2-1 with a 2.01 ERA. And then Sunday's game is also on national television. Braves getting back-to-back national television appearances, back-to-back Sundays actually too, Sunday night games. That's going to be at 7:20 on NBC or Peacock. It's going to be Grant Holmes on the mound for the Braves. He's 1-1 with a 3.32 ERA. He's going up against Andrew Painter, who's 1-0 with a 3.77 ERA. It looks like the Braves are up 2-0 in the first game. Let's see what happened here, guys. Let's see what happened here. It looks like Acuna walked. Drake Baldwin singled. Matt Olson walked there. So they had the bases loaded here, guys. No outs. Austin Riley looks like he was called out on strikes. That's one out there. Bases loaded. Ozzy Albies, he grounded out to Edmundo Sosa. He drove in Ronald Acuna Jr. there. That made it 1-0. And then Mike Yastrzemski singles out. Looks like it was a ball deflected by Taijuan Walker. Went out to second baseman Mundo Sosa. Looks like everyone's safe. That makes it 2-0. And then Dom Smith, he ends up flying out for the third out of the ball game. It looks like bottom of the first, the Phillies actually have the bases loaded. But they're not able to score there. And now we are in the top of the second inning. 2-0 lead for the Braves, and Mauricio Dubon at the plate, full count going there, and he ends up flying out to second baseman Edmundo Sosa, 1 out in the inning. So that is what's going down right now in the first game of that set. But again, 13 games in 14 days against NL East rivals for the Atlanta Braves. They started it off with a 2-1 start. I think they take 2 out of 3 in this series too. They're going to take 2 out of 3. That will put us at 4-2 to start off the first 6 games. And remember, guys, I told you guys, we need to go 8-5. We need to go 8-5. So if we go 4-2 here, then we go to DC for 4. You can split that, right? That will put us at 6-4. Actually, no, we got to take 3 out of 1. 3 out of 4 there. You got to take 3 out of 4 because that will put us at what? That will put us at 7-3. You got 3 with the Phillies. If you lose that series with the Phillies, you finish 8-5. You lose 2 out of 3 there, 8-5. That's still a good 13-game stretch. So I think that's how it's going to go down. Write that down, guys. I think that's how it's going to go down. Anyway, that's all we have for the Braves forecast. I think, you know what? I think I'm over here looking at something here. Let me see here. I think we can do a quick MLB segment. It's going to be very brief, but we're going to put the intro just so you guys can have it.
It's time for the MLB.
It's time for the MLB, where we catch up with the action from around the league. And the action that makes me so happy is that the New York Mets have lost 9 straight ball games to start. Well, not to start the season, but they just lost 9 straight, guys. It's funny to watch. Frank the Tank is going crazy. It's just, I was watching a little bit of the game earlier. They were facing the Chicago Cubs. The final score there was it like 11-4 or something like that? Let me go back to the score. But 12, I think they put up 12. Then these guys put up 12, man. It's just, I was watching that game, and the Mets looked lifeless. Yeah, it was 12-4. The Mets are not looking good, guys. Not looking good. They got to turn it around ASAP before it gets too late. Listen, we had a bad start last year. That 0-7 start, terrible. A 9-game losing streak right now. It's not that good. But you can still turn it around. I'm kind of hoping they get up to 15, though. They get up to 15, that'll be funny to see, but we'll see what happens there. What else we had? I think Mike Trout and Aaron Judge were going off in the series they had over there in the Bronx. Trout had 5 homers in that series. Is Mike Trout back? Is he back, guys? Insane. And that's the last game of the series. I think they had they mentioned they had the only time in a game since 1900 or something like that, with the 4 active leaders and homers played in this same game: Paul Goldschmidt, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge. So pretty crazy stat there. What else? We had Jarren Durant. He flipped off a fan over there in Minnesota. He was pissed. Craig Alvarez broke his jaw, bro. Fractures in his cheek. He got to eat nothing but baby food for the next 6 weeks after getting hit with a foul ball to the face. Hopefully, a speedy recovery for him. That absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks. What else we got here? I'm just trying to catch up quick, guys. Francisco Lindor, he keeps having these mental plays, and he thought he walked early in the ball game. It was a 2-2 count. He took a ball 3. He's over there taking off all his equipment off and everything, walking to first base. And bro, it's ball 3. It's not ball 4. So he continues to miss. Just silly plays, man. Just silly mental errors. I don't know where he's not locked in right now. That's what it is. He's just not locked in. Jorge Soler, his suspension was reduced to 4 games. Remember, it was at 7 games, but it was reduced to 4. Shohei Ohtani was pitching the other day against the Mets. He did not DH. What else was there to see? And obviously, they did sweep the New York Mets. You saw Lindor smiling after getting to striking out to Shohei Ohtani. He was just smiling there. He was like smiling mid swing too, which was crazy. But yeah, it's just that's pretty much what's going on. The Detroit Tigers, they ended up sweeping the Kansas City Royals. And then before we say the sad news, but San Diego Padres, they're finalizing a deal to be sold to private equity billionaire Jose Feliciano, who's also co-owner of Chelsea FC. So yeah, it's expected to shatter MLB records for a team being sold at valuation at $3.9 billion. So that's how much. Imagine if that's what the Padres are going for. Imagine another story franchise like the Yankees. How much that team will go for? You can't even imagine, right? But anyways, this sucked for me because I have him on my fantasy team. But Cubs closer Daniel Palencia, he will hit the IL with an oblique strain. I believe they put him on the 15-day IL now. I have to scramble for a closer, I guess, on my fantasy team. We'll see who I'm able to pick up there. And then the final news is sad news. Garrett Anderson, 2002 World Series champion. He passed away earlier today. The team announced the team will be wearing a patch honoring Garrett Anderson, who is a member of the Angels Hall of Fame. Condolences to his family and friends. Very sad news. He was a very likable player. I loved enjoyed watching him play, man. I really did. And that run they had in 2002, that was amazing. Amazing. And again, he'll always be there, living a living legend, man, in Angels Hall of Fame. So that's the last bit of news that we have. Before we head out, we usually do one more shout out to our friends at SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSY20 to save $20 off your very first purchase. You can use that code for any ball game, any basketball game, hockey, the playoffs. Didn't the playoffs just start for NHL and the NBA? They're starting tonight, I think. So make sure to use code CHOPSY20 to get $20 off any of those ball games. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch up on Monday, most likely. Monday, and preview that new series against the Washington Nationals. And we'll see how our Braves fare against the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend. Till then, thank you guys. Make sure to catch up on all your ball games. And we'll see you next time on The Chop Seat.